You know, I think that I operate with a different mentality that most people do, which is that I'm very forceful and impatient as governor. Or I think any politician, I think you have to be more patient.
Not only do you have to be an active speaker, but you have to be an active listener. When you listen to someone very, very carefully, especially if they express themselves for a while, and you say to them, well, it sounds to me like this is what you're saying, what you're doing is taking a tremendous amount of emotionally laden material, a lot of it unnecessary in the final analysis because of the ensuing synthesis, and offering them a synthesis, which is a great thing to do, especially if they're happy to accept it, because that also means that you did listen to them.
So listening is not the act of hearing the words spoken. It is the art of understanding the meaning behind those words. You know, when people say you're not listening to me and we simply parrot back the words that they were said, congratulations, your ears work. You know, that is the act of listening. But the art of listening is creating an environment in which the other person feels heard. Now, you notice what I said there. The other person, and I used an emotional word, feels, right? I don't want to know that you heard the words. I want to feel heard. I want to feel seen. I want to feel understood. It's things like replacing judgment with curiosity.
The first thing you need to do is be very curious. And you must ask an open-ended question that allows them to go anywhere they want. Don't even ask what's wrong. But you ask the question, hey, tell me what's on your mind. You shut up. And when they talk and they talk and they talk, the next words that come out of your mouth when they stop is, what else? And they talk and they talk and they talk, and they stop and you go, tell me more. And you let them take what he calls an emotional breath.
As my friend Dia Khan calls it, empty the bucket. So even if we find what they're saying just reprehensible, right? You're never going to be able to actually have dialogue until at least one of the parties gets the opportunity to say everything without judgment. And as she calls it, emptying the bucket. And once somebody feels like they've completely said everything, then they're more apt to listen to you.
Over the years, I've had to learn how to empty my mind before and during a scene. Instead of coming to the stage with a pre-deceived notion of what a scene should be, I simply be present. In Liu Shuxin's book, The Three-Body Problem, he quotes a Buddhist abbot saying, emptiness is not nothingness. Emptiness is a type of existence. You must use this existential emptiness to fill yourself. And this is the kind of emptiness I'm talking about. It's not a denial of self. It's a release of the ego. It's a release of the expectation. And when I can do this, when I can empty myself, and it is hard, then I can say yes. Yes, and. So yes and is the core of improv, and at its most basic, it means that as an improviser, my job is to yes, agree to what was just said or done on stage, then and, add more information to the scene. If I deny the reality of someone off stage in real life, I'm creating a situation that has one of two outcomes. I either force them to reframe their reality to one that I see fit, that one that I deem appropriate, or conflict. The former, forcing that reframing, that's dehumanizing. It's a power play. It's saying, your reality doesn't matter, at least not as much as mine does. The latter, conflict, well, it results in the loss of understanding, even the potential for understanding. I've learned through improv to pause, to breathe. When I'm confronted by a point of view I reflexively want to deny, I allow myself the space and the grace to accept, to consider. And if I can do that, and it's scary, then I can form a bond with that person. And we do that enough, and we form a community.
And listening is the way to create, to build trust with someone. You know, you make someone feel heard, they'll trust you. You know, it is the way to find common ground in opposition.